Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Shakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, rule web, and a great example to his younger brothers in the truth and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, Lord, willing this edifying lesson. And I was on Facebook scrolling and I clicked on this. Some kind of way the video popped up when I clicked on Facebook. And, this woman
This one,
right
this
here
one, and are not.
was going in on uh, having multiple wives. So we don't call it polygamy, we just call it having multiple wives. And uh, polygamy in this world, majority of these polygamous relationships in America, especially with these people who don't have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they are doing wicked practices, so to speak. Them women carpet munching and doing all man they having threesomes and shit. That's not true polygamy. But true polygamy is getting ready to come back to the earth, you know. But we'll play this video, and if I ain't said, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash, double honors once again to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, rule web, and great example to his younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect.
Gonna agree with me on this one. Poly relationships are the best. When it's done correctly, three incomes are better than one. If two people are already having a hard time, why not add a like-minded individual who will want to do life with both of y'all, so that y'all can all do life together? If you take it on a traditional aspect and culturally what it's for, that shit is the greatest thing ever on earth. Talking about, oh, he just want to be poly because he won't fuck all these bitches. No. Ultimately, if you got a real man, no the fuck you don't. One black woman, one strong, real black woman, can make a black man excel and prosper in ways he never knew he could, like Superman. Imagine what two women could do. Two strong black women. Two strong, real black women who are self-aware, emotionally intelligent. Those type of women I would let raise the babies. Babies are the future, and the future is the world. Poly is not about having smacks all the goddamn time. It's not. So I really feel like poly is like a really good thing. It really can be. It's not for everybody, but for those who thought about it, those who are open to it, find the right people and it will work. I guarantee you, you won't go nowhere when you find your person and then that person helps you find y'all person. That shit is magical. It may not be your truth, but it's somebody's truth. Call me a pick me.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the point. I just seen it. It was another video, but I don't know where it's at. And I mentioned that because this video came up next. It's just a whole bunch of videos of people who agree with, men having multiple women, you know. But majority of these men, it's a lot of wickedness going on with these worldly men who you see what she got her hand in. It's a lot of wickedness going on. She got her hand on the other woman. The girl in the blue jeans got her hand on the other woman down there by her lap. And that's wickedness. When we get in the kingdom of heaven, on this side, before we get in the kingdom of heaven, when seven women, let's grab that precept. This the book of Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. It say, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And that time is approaching within the next coming weeks, months. Women, Israelite women, no matter how they look, gonna be trying. All women really gonna be trying to cleave to the men of the Lord. You know, these women out here gonna see who the Lord dealing with, and they gonna be trying to get down because we approaching that time of all hell breaking loose. This place ain't got another 30 years and all that old crap. 20 years later, no man, Esau moving fast right now, and we getting ready to come into the time of Jacob trouble. We getting ready to come into the time of calamity and the downfall of Babylon the Great, and these women gonna be seeking protection from the true men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. They're gonna be looking for men in general, but they gonna come to the realization that the only true men are the men who have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. because there's gonna be a lot of men who finna be getting caught up, getting put to death, because the Lord ultimately ain't gonna be with them, and the men that's still alive, they gonna be on some wicked shit. Ain't no telling what these people without Yahweh Shem Shai, these men without Yahweh Shem Shai gonna be on, man. You know, see right now in Babylon, niggas try to act like they just upright, and these niggas gonna go into their wickedness when all hell break loose. You know, men gonna go into their deep dark desires when all hell break loose. Who try to walk like they just upstanding citizens? No, nigga, you wicked. Why? Because you don't know the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. You know, so you're gonna be subjugated. You're gonna be like a beast. Wait when all hell break loose. These niggas who these women going after, they gonna be trying to avoid them niggas like the plague. You know, wait till lawlessness kick in when they can't call 911 and these niggas going upside the head. You know, trying to eat them. You know, we gonna see. But the time coming, well, seven women gonna take hold of one man, and like the lady was saying on the video, it might not be for everybody. No, you women don't have a choice in the matter. When the kingdom of heaven is established, it ain't gonna be well. It's just she don't like having multiple. She don't like her man having multiple wives. Nah, you ain't gonna have no motherfucking choice, man. You know, it's gonna truly be a man's world in the kingdom of heaven. You know, and you women gonna love it. But it say verse 2, it say, in that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious. So this is showing you that the Lord is with multiple wives, man. The Lord is with a man having more than one wife, and not just two, not just three, not just four, as many as you want. Go read up on King Solomon. He said he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. The 300 concubines represent lesser wives, women of the other nations, man. The 700 wives, he had 700 Israelite women. So King Solomon had a whole bunch of kids, man. King Solomon ain't have two, three kids. No. If he had 700 wives and he lived to his old age, he probably had over 700 kids. You see what I'm saying? But it only speak about those of significance, so to speak. It don't speak about all his kids. But if he had 700 wives, he had at least 700 kids, and he lived to uh, 1,000. He had 1,000 kids or so. He lived to he ruled in Israel for 40 years, man. You think he didn't impregnate majority of those women, man? Over a 40-year span? Oh shit. Same as King David. King David had more than just King Solomon. And damn, I forgot his name. And fuck, it might come to me. His son who was trying to kill him, and the son, and also the other son who, fuck, what's his name? He had the hair. Shit, it might come to me. I'm gonna keep going. But he had more than just those few kids that it mentioned. King Solomon, the son who supposedly laid with I gotta find that. I gotta find it. Man. Damn, why I can't think of his name. It's kind of on the tip of my tongue, but it ain't on the tip of my tongue. I ain't say song, I said son, bro. Fucking spell correct. I ain't spelling that wrong. Absalom. That's his name. That's who I was thinking of. You know, uh, uh, Absalom had one of his brothers killed because he slept with. Took Absalom's daughter, his niece, which was a lawful act. That's why King David was sad because Absalom killed his brother. You know, he wasn't mad at the brother who slept with the niece because he didn't commit a wicked act, but he was mad. He was sad because Absalom killed him. You know, but King David had more kids than just those three that was mentioned, man. That I'm thinking of right in this moment. You know why? Because King David had a whole bunch of wives. The scripture spoke about King David and his wives when he committed adultery, a sin unto death. You know, the Lord granted him the sure mercies of David when he had basically took if I ain't mistaken Bathsheba, King Solomon mother, and got one of his men killed, put him in the hottest battle because he impregnated his wife, committed adultery. The Lord told him, he was like, if you wanted more wives or more women, and you were to ask, I would have gave you such and such, man. Showing you that the Lord ain't against you having multiple wives. The Lord ain't against that, man. And you people finna come to the realization of that. And you women, you ain't gonna have no wait. Wait till what get ready to happen. You ain't gonna have no problem with what what's finna happen in the earth. And if you do got a problem with it, you gonna get left out here, man. Then you're gonna have to deal with teeth of wild beasts. You're gonna have to deal with the elements. You're gonna have to deal with not having a covering, you know? And these are the prominent sons of King David. It says Solomon, the son of David and Bathsheba. He was loved by the Lord and named Jediah by the prophet Nathan. He succeeded David as the king of Israel and was known for his wisdom. And Absalom, David's third and favorite son. Yeah, Absalom was King David's favorite son, but he was the most wicked. And the Lord did that to punish King David. If I ain't mistaken, for numbering Israel or something like that. It was either numbering Israel or if I ain't mistaken, it was numbering Israel. But the Lord punished King David and said that one of his sons, one of his own, gonna rise up against him. And the Lord put an evil spirit on Absalom to be trying to kill his father. And King David loved Absalom. That was his favorite son. And that was the one that he tried to take King David out, man. His son hated him, man, and wanted him dead. But that's the terror of the Lord, man. The Lord is terrible, man. But the point is, the Lord is not against polygamy. You got IUIC. I did a video on Bishop Nathaniel saying how they were false prophet. Not just him, but all those top men in IUIC. You may have younger men who new to the truth and they just stumbled across IUIC first, who gonna turn from them as they keep learning and the Lord grow them, because the elect gonna come from out of it. They IUIC teach that you can't have multiple wives, which that's not scriptural, man. You can have multiple wives. You can have as many women as you can afford. As many women is willing to, not even afford. Because in this day and age we living in, shit, women have their own. As many women want to cleave to you. Say you ain't got to do nothing for, like in Isaiah 4:1. We ain't gonna have to do nothing for them. Let's go read it again. We ain't gonna have to pay bills and how what women expect from you in the time we living in. We ain't gonna have to do that shit. This the book Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1 again. It say, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name. Only let us be called by thy name to take away thy reproach. See, these people, these women gonna not people, these women ain't gonna be looking for you to take them to a goddamn uh, first class restaurant. Take them to Paris or some crazy shit. They ain't gonna be looking for you to take them on a cruise to goddamn, the Bahamas. They ain't gonna be looking for that in the times to come. They ain't gonna be looking for you to pay their light bill and they rent and they pay for their groceries or some shit like that. No, they gonna take care of themselves only to be called by your name, man. Why? Because we gonna enter into the time of trouble that Bishop Nate say wasn't gonna happen. We gonna enter into a time of trouble that's gonna be worse than anything the world has ever seen. You know, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna read this out. It say, "In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that escape of Israel." Yeah, and like the women who are able to cleave unto these different men, they gonna be delivered. Let's get another precept. It's like, let's get another precept. Cause when our hell breaking loose, we still gonna be popping shit. We stop. We gonna be popping shit. Like Glorilla said. You know, let me stop. But we gonna be still popping. You know, the more we're afflicted in ancient Egypt, the more we multiply. We gonna be multiplying when our hell breaking loose. The Lord gonna get downtown where these women who cleave to it, they gonna be barefoot and pregnant. Let me stop. Let me find a precept. I'm all over the place. This ain't no. I just was like, let me do something. I'm sitting right here waiting. Let me put one together. And I seen that. And I was like, why not? I've been wanting to do a video on this. Save through. This the book of First Timothy. This the book of First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15 to say, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith, in charity, and holiness with sobriety. So these women that cleave unto us, they gonna have to be in order. They gonna be scared straight. They gonna be scared in order. You know, they gonna be scared into believing. you know, they gonna be so scared they gonna have faith that oh shit, these are the men of the Lord. You know, long as they continue in that, guess what? They gonna get popped. They gonna only let us be called by their name. What consummate a marriage for a woman to get your name? Marriage is how a woman gets your last name or take on your name. But according to the Israelites, what consummated marriage? Not you going up to the altar and goddamn, the false preachers, you know, do the look, little wedding, which ain't nothing wrong with having a wedding, but it's off because they do it in the name of Jesus. But what really consummated marriage is sex, when you enter into a woman in that agreement, which you can only marry a woman truly if she's a virgin. And then I mean you can if her husband died, her first husband died, but we're a wicked and adulterous generation. But in the kingdom of heaven, true marriage is gonna be when you get a virgin and you pop it, you know. But that's how women gonna be saved through childbearing. So women gonna it's gonna be a lot of uh, uh pregnant women when all hell breaking loose, they gonna be getting pregnant because they gonna be coming up on men of the Lord. And hey, the Lord gonna be protecting them. My servant shall eat, and you shall be hungry. My servant shall have abundance, and you shall have nothing. Roughly paraphrased. That ain't what it ain't say nothing. I'm roughly paraphrased, But the Lord say, my servants gonna eat and gonna have abundance and gonna be married. You know. So guess what? All the women that's cleaved unto us, there's 7 women, meaning completion. It might be 50. It might be 25. It might be shit 200. It might be 1,000. We don't know. We waiting on that time to come to see what the Lord gonna do. And some of us gonna be martyred. Some of us men gonna be martyred, but at the same time, it don't even much matter. You know, whether you one of the men who live and you be able to partake in, uh, at the end of the day, the prophecies that getting ready for whether you die for the Lord, you live, it's gonna be beautiful and glorious to behold, so to speak. Because say you die and you just get beheaded and the 7 women don't take hold of you. And you get beheaded and shit, you go back to the spiritual realm. Well, you ain't gonna go. You gonna sleep for a moment, and then the Lord gonna raise you up. When we come out them ships, you gonna be conquering and getting concubines and it's gonna be women that's gonna be delivered. And even if you do die, and so to speak, in this time, and your wives are still alive or whatever, guess what? The Lord gonna deliver them. You know how it's gonna happen? We don't know. Because we ain't gonna die this time. Even in death, it's not gonna be true death. In this life we living in death, it ain't gonna be true death. So if you die right now and your wife's still alive, guess what? She gonna be joined back to you. You know why? Because this is the last time. The brothers that died in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they gonna be raised back up who they are when the Lord return. You know, they families gonna be brought back to them. They wives, they children that make it gonna be joined back to them in the ship, so to speak, man. Because we ain't dying and gotta come through another incarnation. This is the last generation right here, and we strongly believe that. But if we hear another 20 years, this not the last generation. We hear another 1,000 years, this not the last generation. You know how many people gonna die in the next can possibly be dead, brothers, and in the next 20 years, in the next everybody gonna be dead if we hear another 1,000 years, you know. But that's why the Lord took the spirit from Eleazar. You know, he was tripping, coming up against the apostles, and now look at him. He a crip, a 5'5" crip, 50 from 55th Street. He Hoover and all this old crazy dumb shit. That shit stupid. It always been stupid to me. Fucking game. You gotta pledge your loyalty to that bullshit. Hell nah, our loyalty is to you. How about Shem Yahweh Shai, man? Um, let's go back. Verse 2 again, this Isaiah 4 and 2 is saying, that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, Salaki. And say, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters, this is talking about the actual women of our people, of Zion, and shall purge the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning. Yeah, because Lord finna get busy, man. This going into the time of Jacob trouble, man. All hell breaking loose is gonna be, that's what's gonna clean our women up, the ones that are gonna be saved from this destruction. That judgment going out, you know, all these women who Because the Lord got women who gonna be saved. The Lord got women who allotted salvation from the foundations of the earth, man. You know, they might be bugged out right now doing wickedness, but the time gonna come where they gonna repent. They gonna open the Lord gonna open their eyes, and because the Lord didn't part the women understanding. She ain't gonna be saved because of how many precepts. If you women out there, you're not gonna be saved by how many precepts you know. That ain't gonna save you, man. Do you want to get an understanding and learn these things? Of course, but that ain't what's gonna save you. And you supposed to know that. Look, shit. No matter what, this man is above me, and let me shut the fuck up. You know, women in this time they'll learn precepts and be all masculine, thinking they know more than you and shit. Bitch, shut up. So we ain't gonna be putting up with that. When our hair break loose, we ain't gonna be. You ain't gonna be able to hit a brother with a domestic violence. You know, we ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play with you women in that time, man. We ain't gonna put up with your shit. We gonna get you. You gonna get put from our camps. You get the acting up, but you let the demon jump over you on you and overtake you. You know, if the Lord ain't dealing with you, you're gonna be removed, man. You know, so it's best to get in order and learn what you need to learn, and you learn the order of a woman according to the scriptures, because judgment, the spirit of judgment, and the spirit of burning is coming, and you don't want to get caught up in that judgment in that fight. Verse 5 is saying, and the Lord will create upon the dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud of smoke by day and a shining of a flame of fire by night. For upon all for upon all the glory shall be a defense, and there's gonna be chariots. We're gonna have chariots always in our presence, protecting. Are we gonna need it? No, but they're gonna be there just in case. You know, that's how fortified the kingdom of heaven is gonna be, man. But uh, uh, Gog and Magog gonna rise up after we reign for 1,000 years with Yahushua, kidnap Yahushua, you know, put King David, what we gonna send King David into exile. We'll have to rescue Yahushua and, you know, go recover King David. You know, this nigga gonna you gonna damn near steal a chariot and try to go take the Yahweh hostage. I'm making shit up. They ain't say that, but hell, he said if they rise up, see we adding some little extra shit to that bullshit. You know, no nation gonna rise up again in this destruction. Not no God, not no Magog. When we come out them ships, everybody going to capture. Everybody going to fucking work. You know, you're gonna beat your swords and the plowshares and your spears into pruning hooks, man. And we're gonna sever out continual employment. Continual. Only break is gonna be high holy days and Sabbaths. Gonna be the only off days. Every other day that ain't a high holy day or Sabbath, these heathens gonna be fucking working, man. You ain't gonna have time to rise up. You ain't gonna be thinking. You gonna be too tired to even fight, man. Shit, you gonna be too tired to talk about trying to build a, come up with a master plan to escape. No, nigga, you gonna be building palaces, man. Damn, the kingdom of heaven gonna be beautiful, you know. With this little small imagination, our little imagination ain't gonna say, our little imagination don't compare to what it's really gonna be like. Our little imagination ain't gonna compare to what hell is finna come upon the earth. It's finna get real demonic out here, man. It's already overly demonic, and you can see the spirits on people. You know, you see dead people like children of the court. I see dead people. You see dead people daily, man. All these people ride by in the cars and these busy, when it's busy and you got all these, just traffic and movement. The time coming, the Lord is finna purge the earth. A lot of people finna die. Oh shit. Oh, my shit died. It's lucky. You know, the Lord finna purge the earth. Like when you're in a busy, I always imagine it. Like when it's real busy out and cars just back and forth down the street constantly, the parking lots filled, people going in and out of stores. The day gonna come where this shit gonna cease. Where a man gonna desire to see another man. Verse 6 it say, and there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a palace, a place of refuge, and for a cover from the storm and from the rain. Yeah, so we're gonna be protected. Just like the Lord went before us when we were coming out of Egypt in a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night to lead us through lead us in the wilderness. The Lord gonna have a chariot over every dwelling place. That's gonna be amazing, man. A beautiful chariot gonna be just hovering, you know, over over your palaces, you know. So obviously we gonna have multiple chariots because we gonna have more than we gonna have no one palace. We gonna have palaces, you know. What these Edomites got ain't gonna be shit compared to what the lowest level Israelite gonna have, you know. Ain't gonna be nothing, man. These international bankers, they own everything, but guess what? In the kingdom of heaven, that little bit that they own ain't gonna that a lot that they own and to us ain't gonna be nothing to what the Israelites gonna have, you know, because the earth is gonna be, you know, it's gonna grow, gonna get bigger, it's gonna, hey man, it's gonna produce its strength, so to speak. Trees gonna grow bigger, everything gonna be bigger, everything gonna be healthier, you know, fully nourished, not mal. Everything in this world we live in is malnourished, you know. Why? Because Esau destroying the earth. He fucking everything up. These trees and the fruit and animals and people supposed to be bigger than what they are, man. You know, the scriptures speak about through age, everything got weaker and got, you know, has lost strength. Why? Because the wicked are in the rulership. But the time coming where polygamy gonna be a normal thing. Oh, I fucked it up. I just, oh, with that, you know, I just close it out because I wanted to stay on that page. I ain't want to go through all my other shit, you know. But Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, rule, wherever the great example to his younger brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom, Kwame Yashala, and the Baba Shalom.